So, about that Alien Romulus trailer, eh? What did we think? Shall we get the lay of the land with everyone? What did you all think of the Alien Romulus trailer? Personally, I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved that trailer. Genuinely had a really good time with it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. You know, to start off, to start off with, literally Venetian blinds, right? You got Venetian blinds, rain and Venetian blinds, an atmosphere processor in the very next frame. Amazing.
Al Humphreys donated $12.77. Oh, hold on a second, it's just heartburn. My mistake. Sorry about that.
Thanks so much, Al, my dude. Do appreciate the support on the channel. Genuinely helps keep the lights on. Thank you so much. But what a fantastic... So one of the things which stuck out to me about this trailer, and I've done my breakdown of it anyway, and I've got some other videos coming as well, by the way, guys. Few things to go over. The response is fantastic. 76,000 likes, 4.7 thousand dislikes. That is incredible. In 4 hours, the reviews the views that we see is at 1.2 million, right? 1.193, so 1.2 million. It'll be more than that, quite a lot more actually. The live reviews will be live viewership will be more than that. This is a really popular trailer. That's great viewership already. There is definitely an interest in this film. There is definitely an interest in this film. And this releasing in theatres with this level of interest and this attention to detail with the trailer direct from Fede Alvarez is a recipe for success, I think, personally. Fede Alvarez has been influential in the marketing of this. He has quite literally been involved in cutting these trailers, right? It's not been sent out to any trailer house, which a lot of a lot of films do. A lot of films just have their trailers cut by not even the studio. It's a completely different studio. It's really bizarre. It's weird. But I love the opening of this. Very Blade Runner-esque, isn't it? You know, this could be the opening of a Blade Runner film. And that's important because it's that 70s aesthetic. 70s, 80s aesthetic. That's what you want in this. You want that gritty sci-fi feel. I don't want it to be clean. I don't want it to look nice. I want it to look gross, disgusting. And I just think it's such a beautiful opening. The lighting is done really, really well. So obviously, you know, in the frame behind it, well, outside of the window, right? The background, we can see a good color palette, nice color palette, which fades in, racks focus in, and as the light fades out through, and then oh, here we go.
Pat's donated $10. The source of it was Stonewall. Within months they'd created a new type of identity. Within 3 years every government organization had adopted it. It developed hundreds if not thousands of different identities. It became self-aware at 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
Thank you so much, B-Pats. Do appreciate it. Oh dear, oh dear. It's almost like from here. It's almost like a bit of like a glimmer of hope. You can sort of let me go all the way back to the start. Here we go. So as it fades right through, a bit of a glimmer of hope, a bit of a light, a bit of a sheen, and then we go right the way through to the atmosphere processor. Some people have said, does it say Acheron on it? It definitely does not say. It does not say Acheron on it. This is an atmosphere processor. This is the same several billions of dollars worth of tech that Weyland-Yutani used on Acheron LV-426 to, you know, build an atmosphere basically in LV-426. But it's so great to see it reused, and I do wonder what we're seeing here, whether it's a miniature or not. we had some new information that Phil Tippett, the legendary Phil Tippett, has done some stop motion work on this. I wonder if it's miniature stop motions, and that's what he's been working on. I mean, it's going to be miniature anyway, but you see what I mean, right?
Mexican Iron Man donated $10. I am so super excited for this Alien release. From the visuals to the sound audio, this can be outstanding. Can't wait.
Thank you so much, Mikey, my dude. Nice to have you on. And yeah, I agree. I think it's... Yeah, I'm really, really excited for this. Genuinely excited. Shot's cool. This shot's cool. It's fine. You know, it's that sort of... I guess it sort of conjures despair almost. You know, you've got this sort of opening frame, gritty, horrible rain, nastiness, atmosphere processor, grungy world, and just sort of lying there in... It looks like a bunk bed, to be honest, like a very you know, sort of cubicle, utilitarian bunk bed type style. I used to work on cruise ships, so I'm actually very used to this I'm very used to this sort of, you know, horrible, gross, quite in close quarters type thing. Not very pleasant, not nice. This is probably one of my favourite shots of the entire trailer. Nice to have you on, Culture, my dude. Nice to have you on. So this is one of my favourite shots of the entire trailer, and people are saying in the chat, is this LV426 and things like that? It's not LV426. It's not set on LV426. But this shot is so nice, and as the light blasts up, just, you know, it's so... I don't know. There's such an attention to detail of keeping it. Nothing looks clean. I know it's such a weird thing to say, but nothing looks clean, and that's so important in this film. You know, you need to get a real sense of this dread and despair. It just looks gross. It looks dirty. It also looks significantly aged. This looks like something you could have released. Well, yeah, again, you know, 30 odd years ago, 40 odd years ago, easily. Great shots. Really, really nice shots. And the way the light just crackles up through. Really, really nice. Like it. And it's that, I don't know, I just think it's so, it's so, you sort of see the behemoth that is the atmosphere processor. You get a better sense of scale of it. I'm hoping we get some really great shots as they're sort of walking up to their ship. You can sort of see this thing in the background. Be great.
I was actually kind of grossed out, which was fantastic. Poor Dora the Explorer.
Tony Angelopoulos, thank you so much. Appreciate that. So these are our two main characters, Andy and Rain. So Andy is a synthetic, an aged... on the fritz, I guess. You know, synthetic, not quite all there, bit damaged here and there. Rain's father died, and the story is that this synthetic was tasked by Rain's father to look after her, but they've adopted a more brother and sister relationship because he's on the fritz, if that makes sense. But it's a really, you know, it's quite touching. I think it's having that as like a central core for the story is quite a good approach. And did everyone spot this? The Casio watch. The Casio watch. Did anyone spot that? I did. It's in my trailer breakdown. Love that. Love that. I don't know if it's exactly what they did. I think it was in Aliens they did it. So, yeah, cool. Just it's a cool touch. It's a cool touch. I know it sounds lame, like, oh, they've spotted a watch, but it's that attention to detail that matters. If you're, yeah, that attention to detail really matters, I think, and it matters to fans anyway. And it's indicative of the writer and the director and the wardrobe, because that matters, all being on the same page and all being very much, you know, on board with the same thing. You know, fans trying to be true to it. So, yeah. And then this is what I think made people think it was LV-426 because of like the planetary rings and things like that. But it's such a cool image, the light as it goes through. And this is quite a nice image as well. You can imagine, you know, because they're supposed to be going to this space station to get stuff so they can sort of move further, you know, and push onwards into a brighter future and hope and things like that. They're getting off this hellhole planet. And as they see that light and it beams into the ship, you know, you sort of see, I guess it would invoke that sort of vibe as they go through it. Love it. Yeah, that's such a great shot as it comes in through. Because you can imagine if they're born on this planet, which we've just seen, they probably don't get any sun. They probably don't see much of it. Those atmosphere processes don't allow stuff like that. Whilst they're trying to generate that atmosphere for years and years and years on those colonies. Generally speaking, it takes a long time to build an atmosphere which is nice. And that planet did not look nice. It looked gross and horrible. So, yeah, cool, nice. Really like it. Remember as well, what you're seeing in this trailer, right? This was originally going to be just releasing on Hulu. FX and Hulu. What they've done with this budget is nothing short of spectacular. Nothing short of spectacular. They essentially got told, I think it was like the first day of shooting, they were like, no, this is too good. This needs to be released in theaters. So yeah, good. Lots of people have like a massive issue with the Andrew Bateman says shadow cast of a facehugger. Yeah, I guess so. Kind of. Yeah, I could sort of see that. A lot of people have an issue with the younger cast. A lot of people have an issue with the diverse cast. I think it's important to keep in mind is that Alien had a very diverse cast, actually. Women, black guy, it was diverse. I think it's important to keep that in mind. You know, it's not that they've not had any diversity in the Alien franchise and now they suddenly have. You know, this franchise has always had these things. So, yeah. But people do have an issue with the younger cast. I think the justification that the director has given is actually enough for me to be like, yeah, that's okay. I'm happy with that. So this is the Renaissance Space Station. And there's 2 modules. So the mechanics in this film to show you that it is to I don't know, to have the sort of alien-esque vibe and then the aliens vibe. The mechanic that they're using, the Renaissance Space Station has 2 modules, one old and one new. So one is in the alien era, one module. It's made up of 2 modules. So one is an older sort of Weyland-Yutani module that's built into this space station. And the other is a newer Weyland-Yutani module, which is built into the space station. So the Romulus and Remus module, which I think is a really smart mechanic, actually. So, like, you can even see it in the trailer. This is a great callback to Alien. Really, really great callback. So this, you can see this. This is the Alien-esque module, right? You're in the Alien module right now. It's a really great mechanic because you can literally see it in the trailer as they go from the sort of older technology to the newer technology. Or newer. I think it's a great mechanic. And I love this shot, right? The reason why I love this shot is, if you remember in the original Alien, there was always things that you'd see lurking around in shots. And you'd be like, oh my god, is that an alien? Again, this here looks a bit like the dome of the alien head, things like that. So all these little things that you'd be like, oh, what, is that an alien tail? No. That stuff that builds in the atmosphere and the vibe. I love it. They're sort of keeping it there. It's cool. Really, really cool. So again, this is the Alien one. Very Alien Isolation. Very Seegson-esque. I'm going to go out on a limb here. And this shadow here, I'm going to go out on a limb. And I'm going to say this is the synthetic that is on board the space station. I don't know that for a fact. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think this is the shadow of the synthetic which is on the space station. And this is a recreation. CGI/AI recreation of an actor that we know from a different movie. But yeah, that's just my guess. And again, here, boom, straight into the sort of Alien vibes, right? I mean, this is straight out of Alien. So good. So good. It's kind of like the stuff those directors would have wanted to do if they could at the time, but they didn't have the means. So, yeah. We got Accent Seller, Super Chat 20 Norwegian kroner, says, if Romulus references Prometheus Covenant, no bueno. I think it actually has to a degree, but not a reference in terms of, you know, positive reference. But I'll get to that in a minute because it's part of this trailer. Marshmallow, Super Chat £2, says, subliminal messages, images, a big factor in Alien. Yeah, agreed. Love this shot. This shot is very Alien Isolation, isn't it? Who's played Alien Isolation? Isn't this shot very Alien Isolation? All the zero-G things floating around. Super, super cool. Let's see if we can change this. Right, so let's pull this out a bit further. So here in this shot, I think there's a few things to consider here about this shot. It's the same blue mist that is in the Alien, film, and he's putting his hand through it as if he's expecting a response. It's interesting. He's very clearly in a hive, so I wonder now if this sort of blue mist is something. He's very clearly in a hive, isn't he? This is the synthetic. And I do wonder if they're going to... Because remember, a lot of this stuff, right? A lot of people don't tend to, in terms of when they make films and things like that, they don't shy away from anything that was established lore-wise in Alien and Aliens. But there's nothing to stop people from adding to the lore. And if there was nothing out and out stated, you can change stuff. You know, you can add to things, like the blue mist, for instance. What's saying that couldn't be something biological? You know, like a biological haze, like a pheromone that, I don't know, you can see with your bare eye. Could be that. Nothing to stop that or people from adding to the lore and having that, because it's very clearly in a hive. But the thing I like the look of, in terms of, not necessarily like the look of, but I think this is wrong words. I do like the look of it, actually, because I think this is the best way you could include Prometheus and Covenant in the film without addressing it outright. These vials, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that is the black goo. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's the black goo. I bet you anything that's the black goo, but I bet you anything it's not going to be addressed. I bet you it's something which people who know what it is will nod and go, oh, it's that, and that's it. And I think that's the best way to address it, because otherwise those films are like, they're just there, and it's weird. I think the best way to address it moving forwards is to have nods to it, but not have it as a storyline. Have it as literally anything that really implicates the story at all. As I think you can't... I think ignoring it is the most stupid thing to do in terms of canon. So anyway, I think that's cool. But that's very clearly a hive. Like, he is in a hive. Auto Tomato says he seems to be touching the light as if it reacts like Kane does. Exactly. So what's... Maybe it is like a pheromone-based haze that the xenomorphs lay down. Maybe. William Fleming has super chatted $3. Says, trailer looks good. I'm looking forward to it. That device that lights up your chest like a flashlight is a cool idea. Need more boobs. Could always do more boobs. ZBR has super chatted $2. Says, the face huggers in this movie are bloody terrifying. I know Freddy's a huge fan of Alien Isolation, and it shows this trailer. I'm pumped. Yeah, he is. He is a fan of Alien Isolation. And he, like... I was trying to look at his like emotions here, because obviously he's a synthetic, so they don't really emote, right? Like there's a little bit of emotions, but as he looks down, as he looks up, you can see something catches his eye, and he sort of squints to see whether what he's seeing is right, and then it widens again. His eye widens. He's like, yeah, shit, something's there. You see what I mean? So he's very clearly witnessing like an alien, I would imagine. This here, I've actually only just spotted this, which I should have done on my breakdown, to be fair. That's a facehugger there on an operating table. Or on a table. You see it right there. There's the legs. It's not alive. That's not moving or anything. But interesting. It doesn't look like it's moving. No. Anyway, interesting stuff. The nuts rack, or nets rack, sorry, for... I don't know what DKK are, but it says, trailer looks damn good, cautiously optimistic. Yes. I'm excited. And this is the really cool shot, right? So she's clearly been face hugged. Obviously. And I was wrong. Like in my trailer breakdown, I was like, oh, maybe that's a black goo mutagen. Because from here, there doesn't seem to be too much going on with her face. There's a little bit, but not too much. And then as she comes here, there seems to be significantly more damage. But I think maybe it was just angles, to be honest. So it's my bad. But she's going nuts. So I think this is from the facehuggers scratching her face. You see what I mean? It does look like there's more damage to her face, but it's just my bad. So she puts this scanner behind her rib cage to show, oh, it's a baby. It's a baby. That's a baby you don't want. The look of horror. Shit. So she is actually the one which gets face hugged later in the trailer. After he says run. I'll show you that in a minute. So all we're seeing is someone which we'd already seen get face hugged, basically. Oof. Brutal. Oh, you're literally watching it. I mean, this is the guy that did Evil Dead. This is going to be so disgusting and bloody. Like you're watching it chew its way through her. Isn't that even like blood splatter in her? It is, isn't it? That is unbelievable. That there is blood splatter inside her. Unreal. I will say, ladies and gents, anyone who's sending in super chats, please do send them in via Streamlabs. It's pinned to the top of the chat because YouTube does take 30% of your money. Like they take it. I don't see it. So if you send it via Streamlabs,
the trailer starts with an armpit shot and ends with an armpit shot too. Do you think it's as a reference and homage to You'd Better Be Smelling Your Fucking Armpit, Romulus from Succession 2018 show?
What? What? Vixlar says the trailer starts with an armpit shot and ends with an armpit shot too. Do you think it's a reference to an homage to You'd Better Be Smelling Your Effing Armpit, Romulus from Succession 2018 show? And I don't think so, mate. Burning Man has sent in a super chat of $15. Thank you so much. Bird Boy has super chatted $5.44. Says, is it just me, or did we just see everyone die in the trailer? No. No. Not everyone that you see getting face hugged gets implanted. Except for the synthetic, because I'd be down for that idea. It looks flawless, just like the old Aliens, with updated visuals done just right. The potential is definitely there. I hope it delivers. Yeah, I hope so too, man. Jonah Colombo super chatted $4.99. Thank you so much. And we've got another one. What's going on here? Sorry, I'm scrolling up and down. Yeah, I think that's it. I got to it all. Yeah, I got to it all. Anyway, so it's just brutal and gross. Anyway, and then, so this is interesting. So I'll sort of fast forward this a little bit more. Great shot here. We've seen this anyway. This was as part of some images that were revealed. So this is the Capitoline wolf and Romulus and Remus suckling on the she-wolf. Very interesting imagery. Again, Romulus, Remus, rebirth. This is the Romulus lab, which you can see in there. So, yeah, it's interesting. A lot of, yeah, basically rebirth. So it makes a hell of a lot of sense. These sort of subtext is there for sure. And I just love the idea of this sort of deep space station that Weyland-Yutani established in the hopes of, you know, I mean, it's called the Renaissance Station. So, again, Renaissance, Romulus, Remus, rebirth. It's very much, like, there's a lot of subtext there. And I love the idea of them building this space station in deep space with the idea of, like, I don't know, just like rebuilding, well, I don't know. Either their sort of hopes for evolutionary sort of type deals, the weapons division, who knows? We don't know exactly what their focus was, but there's a lot there to unpack. I love it. I think it's great. So keep an eye on these individuals here in the red room that they're in, right? And then take a look at this chap here. So so this is an incubator room. And this guy's just standing here with his arms on his hips, just sort of standing there. I wonder if what we see here is something, this shot specifically is in the past. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, I don't know, but they're just sort of, he's just sort of standing there and this thing falls down. And then the shot's different. So the angle is completely different. So basically from here, you see this thing falling there and then down. But then on this angle, it's now falling towards the camera. Whereas before it was falling vertically down. Now it's falling... Do you see what I mean? The perspective has changed. It's an odd one. And then it's there. It falls on the floor. And then goes in the water. And then he falls down. But that doesn't look like the same individual. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But it doesn't... the perspectives are all over the place. Because there's literally someone just standing there. Right there. And then it... But as it comes out, it's falling downwards. But then in this shot, it's now falling towards the camera. Interesting. And then it falls down, and then we're there. But the perspective's not the same. Because before, it looked like... What was there? Like a whole row of them. See, there's a row. Maybe I'm... No, because it... maybe it is literally just a vertical row. Potentially. I could be wrong. But I like the idea of it being blended between two shots. One in the past, one in the future. And then obviously this dude, he's going to have a real bad day. He's going to... he's going to have a real bad day here. Israel R has super chatted $5 over on Streamlabs and says, hello Nate, forgive the question if you'd already answered it, but does the crew have any intel about the xenomorph or the mission of the Nostromo? What's your opinion on how this will connect to the events of the aliens events? They don't know anything about this. They're not going on a mission for anything to do with the alien at all. They go to the Renaissance space station because they need cryopods. That's the only reason why they go there. They don't know any of this stuff is there. They're not interested in any of this shit. They go to the Renaissance space station because they want the cryostasis pods. That's it. and they sort of get in all of this shit, and they're like, ah, yeah, crap. That was a bad move, wasn't it? Basically. Black Saber, the Shark of Power. Super chat $2 says, I love you. Thanks so much. Love this shot. The animatronics. I mean, this looks like animatronics. This is such a great shot. It's almost like they throw it at his face. I can't tell whether this is... I think that is animatronics. What is that in his hand? Is that a weapon? Interesting. Maybe that's CGI. I think that's might be... No, see, a lot of this does look like it's... You should see the animatronics that they've got on the set of this. It looked incredible. But anyway, this is all animatronics. Bloody brilliant stuff. They're really bringing that fear factor back. Bye-bye. Does it look like a shotgun? I thought it looked a bit too thin to be a shotgun. Now, this is interesting, isn't it? This is a bloody interesting one. What do we think this is? It's very clearly an alien, obviously. It looks like the tail in the background. But it's sort of like the sort of hands are sort of all clumped backwards and then come forwards. Yeah, people are saying it's the big chap's hands. It might be. It looks like it potentially could be, for sure. Ugh. Defrosting big chap. Yeah, it could be. There's that canister again. It's that canister, I'm telling you now. The black goo's in there. Gotta be. So we're definitely seeing two aliens in this trailer. There's two aliens. So there's the big chap and then another alien. They're not both the same. I love the line delivery here. Run. So good. I don't know if you guys can hear this.
Open the door, come on!
Run. Could you hear that or not? Great line delivery. Great line delivery. Tony Angelopoulos donated $10, says, is this perhaps an alien growing into an adult? Yeah, so I'm going to do a theory video on that. There's definitely some bits and pieces of this trailer which make it look like we're witnessing molting scenes. You know, as an alien molts. It could be that. So this is that woman. This is that woman that we see with the light looking at the chest burster. So this is her getting face hugged here. So it's not really a massive reveal, to be honest. We'd already seen that she gets face hugged. But I'm so impressed with the set design. The set designs are amazing. They're so good. And she's down, boy. In fact, actually, is that the same place? I think that's the same place. Which we see earlier. So this looks like the big chap. This looks like the big chap here. This is very big chap. The original Xeno.
Is this perhaps an alien growing into an adult?
Oh yeah, I answered that one, didn't I? Thank you so much though, Tony. Falling down, brutal. That'd be painful. I like the fact that they incorporated the in space no one can hear you scream into the trailer as well. Love it. I think it's great. This is that woman that we see looking at her chest. This is the chest burster scene by the looks of it, isn't it? Very clearly. All the blood over it. Yeah, it's the same woman. Same two women. So yeah, she would have got chest bursted. This looks semi-organic meteor. So I do wonder whether that's got anything to do with, yeah, the space station overall. Some bits and pieces of that and the experiments and stuff. I don't know. I love the desperation in everyone. They're just shitting themselves. So this is interesting. His eyes roll back like Cal in Alien Resurrection. And it sort of looks like a barcode type thing, doesn't it? In the back of the eye. I thought it was like a new pupil type thing, but could be. Aurora Uplinks has been a member for 3 months. Says, would be interesting if Star Wars developed a hostile alien species that could be a threat for a TV series like Xenomorphs, but with their own starships. Hey, would be interesting if Star Wars developed a hostile alien species that could be a threat for a TV series like Xenomorphs. For a TV series like Xenomorphs, but with their own starships. I don't know what you mean. In fairness, don't actually know what you mean. So, this, I mean, something pushes the ship off course very clearly into a debris cloud, like a ring or something like that. I mean, it's brutal. It's great visual effects. The visual effects are amazing. This looks grotesque. I think I know what this is pertaining to, and I'm not going to spoil it because it's gross. Diesel super chat $5 says, dude, what about this trailer? A little proto pulse rifle action. I love that. Yeah, I do love the proto pulse rifles. How are you thinking they actually found the big chap? Can't wait. Cheers, brother. Well, I've done some theory videos on it, but I think I'm wrong now, having watched the trailer. But that's the fun of theory videos. That's why I love doing them. The Nets Rack super chatted $5 over on Streamlabs. Please do send it all over Streamlabs. Don't give YouTube your money, please, guys. YouTube takes 30% of all of your super chats. So send it via Streamlabs. Netrack says, so far the movie I'm looking forward to in 2024 is Deadpool and Wolverine is up there, but it's Disney. So, yeah, I don't really care about Deadpool and Wolverine. Not going to lie. Deadpool 2 was meh. Didn't really care about it. Now, this is interesting because there's a few things I want to point out here. What's this? What's that? I know what that is. That's a Xeno hand. But what is that? There. I don't know. Maybe I'm just focusing on something that's not actually relevant. But meh. Anyway, he's getting shot at behind a grate. And I think this is... So, this is the second alien. This isn't the big chap. And you can tell that because it's... because of how its head looks. I think this is the same one which we see at the end, actually. By the looks of it. It's got a really massive rib cage. Huge rib cage. Now this is really interesting. I mean, it looks like a Xeno with its hands on its dome coming out of a cocoon. So is it molting? Is that what we're seeing here? Because they've all... they always said, so part of the alien life cycle, which we've never seen, is chest burster to full-grown alien, right? We've never seen it. We've never seen it. So is this what we're seeing here? Is this the alien molting? I think so. Which would be really, really cool to see. We've never seen the whole thing. We just see them go from chest burster. Oh, there's a big one. There you go. And we see a bit of skin, right? We saw a little bit of skin in Alien. That was it, really. And a little bit in other movies here and there. But we've never actually seen it. And I think that's what we're seeing here. How cool is that if that's what we're seeing? So it builds a cocoon and then it comes out and molts. Andrew Bateman says we see skin. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Nothing else. Is it egg morphing? Well, no, because it's definitely got hands. So it's not egg morphing, is it? Egg morphing is when you turn a corpse into an egg. But I think this is molting. I think what we're seeing here is a chest burster changing into a full-grown Xeno. Love that effect. It's such a cool effect. Looks great. Looks absolutely brilliant. And this is probably some of the most sadistic stuff. And this is saying something. This is some of the most sadistic stuff we've seen in an alien film. She's in zero gravity, floating around with puddles of acid and not being able to move herself properly. Isn't that sadistic? I mean, mate, that looks incredible. That looks so good. Love it. Love it. And then, of course, we close with this scene here. Which I don't think this is the big chap either. I think this is... Yeah, I don't think this is the big chap. It's got a huge rib cage. Really like abnormally big rib cage for an alien. Like it's what I mean, like a weird looking rib cage. Don't think it's the big chap. Sci-Fi Quest has super chatted $1 and says it was frustrating she fired the proto pulse rifle with no sound. I can't wait to hear that legendary pulse rifle sound. I think that the cocoon is the big chap being brought in through an airlock. What you mean this? You think this is the big chap being brought in through an airlock? Really? What do you mean? Or do you mean the meteorite looking thing? Yeah. I think you could be right that the meteorite looking thing is potentially the big chap. Yeah, it does have a damaged head, but if that's supposed to represent the big chap, it's definitely not the big chap because the big chap didn't have any damage to the skull, I don't think. Did have damage to the rib cage there. It was shot right through its centre, wasn't it? Maybe it's hit its head. I don't know. Doesn't look like the big chap to me. Could be wrong. The big chap is biomechanical. They're all biomechanical. And this is biomechanical. You can see the tubing all through up here anyway. Has he grown? Yeah, look, well, yeah. The alien looks weird and big and stuff. But, yeah. But there you go, anyway. Just theories why she's tied up. She's not tied up. She looks to be in an airlock and she's just holding on. She's not tied up. That's her hand. She's just holding. It looks very much like she's just in an airlock and they're trying to blast that creature out of an airlock. Right? But yeah, she's not tied up.
Hyde10 donated $10. He is hoping this film doesn't get a hate review.
Yeah, I hope so too. But there you go. There's my rambly video on Alien Romulus. And now we'll just sort of shoot the breeze and chit chat, I guess. Aurora up. Well, I'm not reading out your name. Aurora Uplinks has super chatted $1. It says an alien threat like xenomorphs, but intelligent, able to use starships. Ah, right. Okay, for a TV series that was Star Wars based. I just think it'd be interesting to explore a mix of animalistic horror abilities with sentience that can manipulate and build technology. Yeah, I guess so. Isn't that what the Predator does, though, to a degree? I think that's what the Predator does, really. Stoic Flame says, enjoyable rambling, sir. Thank you so much. I like... Yeah, that was quite rambly, wasn't it, to be honest? Getting into the minutiae of the trailer. But I had a good time with it, so there you go. Burning Man, sorry, super chat at $3 says, how long after Alien is this supposed to be? 20 years after and 30 years before, or 37 years before Aliens. So 20 years after Alien, 37 years before Aliens, if I remember rightly. I'm pretty certain. That's just off the top of my head, though, so you have to forgive me. But yeah, there you go. I'm very excited. Who's excited? Let me know. And if you like what I do, by the way, guys, please do consider becoming a Patreon for as little as $2 a month. Those people that are members, please consider becoming a Patreon instead. Same benefits. Aside from, of course, the free super chats and things like that you get as a member, but basically YouTube does take 30% of your membership as well, which is a lot. So trying to get people to become a Patreon instead, basically. So yes.